Morning, YouTube. I'm here to give you guys a status update on DIY do-it-yourself lithium-ion Coon-Ass Milk Crate Power Pack. I made the long 30-minute video of which only 12 of you have watched, so the 12 of you who did, here's a quick little update. Apparently the 12 of you are not electrical engineers or practicing electricians because you would have caught some incorrect math. So here I am, fact checking myself. So on Tuesday, after I built this battery pack, I hooked up that fan and I ran it for about 8 hours. And the Overkill BMS that I have connects to my phone, which is recording this video. And so I was watching the cells, and I've noticed a couple things. I was pulling more voltage out of the first cell than the other three while on load. But when I take it off, it does rebalance. So I emailed Overkill BMS and asked them, you know, what can I do? And they said it's likely there's a bad connection. I didn't tighten up the lugs on the battery on the first cell, so it's seeing a bit more resistance. So I'm gonna take that apart, recheck all my connections. I should probably get a torque wrench out, which I didn't do the first time. So that's one lesson learned. The second lesson learned is the Overkill BMS you can reconfigure, so it comes with some preloaded settings. Recommend if you ever do get one, probably not messing with them, but nonetheless I tried to mess with them. And because it's preset on a 100 amp hour battery, 12 volt battery, and I've got a 270 amp hour battery. So I wrote them a quick email like, hey, I can't get my settings to save, and it's just as simple as change the settings. Put, you know, take your 100 amp hour, change it to 270 amp hour, and then hit, you know, BMS right, of which I have a screenshot video to show you. Either ways, if you get into programming your BMS on Overkill, I don't know, send me a note, call me, email me, or probably better, talk to Steve at Overkill. Anyway, so for all the non-fact checkers, I fact checked myself. And here's a quick little electrical lesson. Okay. So this fan is pulling 115 watts right now. It's cooling me off after I got done with my Navy PRT this morning. It's motivating. So let's talk about Ohm's law. That's power equals current times voltage. That's watts, that's amps, that's volts. Okay. So from my inverter, which is producing 115 volts, alternating current, which is feeding that fan, which is drawing 115 watts. So 115 watts divided by 115 volts is 1 amp. So if I were to put my voltage meter, amp reader on that fan, it would give me 1 amp. Now, if I were to take my voltage meter and put a clamp around my battery terminal connection going into this inverter, I'll show you in just a second, it will say I'm pulling 8.5, 8.8 amps. That's because 115 watts divided by 13 volts, which is DC, that's the battery, 115 watts divided by 13 volts, it's 8.8 amps. So I should put my voltmeter on that, of which I have a video of, and I'll post it soon. We're drawing 8.8 amps. Now what that means is this battery pack has 270 amp hours of capacity. I only want to use 80% of that. If 80% of 270 is 216, so I take 216, I have 216 usable amp hours in this Coon-Ass Milk Crate Power Pack I built this week. 216 amp hours. And I'm pulling 8.8 amps on that fan. That means I can run that fan to cool me off after my Navy PRT workout for 24 straight hours. That'll take me from 100% state of charge down to 20% state of charge. At that point, the BMS, which manages my battery cell life, will cut it off. And that's going to help maintain longevity and protect this $1,200 little Coon-Ass Milk Crate do-it-yourself lithium-ion battery pack. So that's my morning update. Anybody got any questions, comment, concerns? Maybe if you want to like and subscribe, maybe double check my math since no one has. There's a good chance I'm wrong about something, because the point of building this is to learn. So I'm learning while building, and hopefully some of you are encouraged to maybe jump out of your comfort and learn something. Oh, don't let me forget, as you'll notice, Reggie's checking out the solar panel that I just bought. That is a 200 watt solar panel. You'll also notice it is not connected to, what do we call this? That's the MPPT charge controller. This solar panel connects right here and right here, except I need to buy the connections. So I already did. But the connections aren't in yet. They'll probably come in today. So when I do, I am going to make another quick little video, and I'll run a couple little tests. I'll have this thing out in the sun, and we'll see what kind of charge rate I get on this battery pack, how long it takes me to charge, X percentage, so we sort of extrapolate how much we can pull, and how long it takes to charge. My rough guess is if the sun is hitting that solar panel and I'm running that fan, this will provide more capacity than that will draw. In other words, I can run the fan and have this one 200 watt solar panel, and I bet I'll be charging my battery versus drawing down like my battery. Now, if I got another solar panel, I could run 2 fans and probably still charge my battery, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but keep in mind there's 270 amp hours on there. It's a lot. I encourage everybody kind of like maybe check out some other YouTube videos that might have people who are smarter than me over battery things. But if you like to learn with me, then keep watching. And again, I appreciate any comments or any fact checkers. Simplify.